Okay, kids, this is Englentine, and Marvel decided to put out a preview spotlight of their Generations book. This is The Strongest, starring the Hulks. Let's get to it. Okay, nothing really much to read here. Hulk smash! And Amadeus Cho's looking at him going, what the? Apparently that's a giant Hulk, too. If you look at the size difference between the Hulk and the soldiers and everything, he is giant. So the two Hulks see each other with a what the heck and a what the hell. And the army says, what the ding-dong devil's going on there? I guess that's Thunderbolt Ross. There are two Hulks out there, sir. Two Hulks? Well, what are we waiting for? Fire. They shoot off some tanks. Big explosion. Boom. This tells us nothing. Obviously, they're in Banner Hulk world because, you know, the army's chasing after them. But all we've learned from this preview is that the Hulks get together. And guess what? We know that from the front cover. Well, at least the art is good. I have to say that. Got to give credit where credit is due. Okay, so all of these came with an interview, so let's get to that. Greg Pak is an American comic book writer known for his legendary runs on Hulks of all shapes and sizes. No one knows what makes the Gamma-empowered tick as he does. Peter David. Oh, excuse me. Pak is in the midst of Weapons of Mutant Destruction, crossing over his Totally Awesome Hulk and Weapon X titles. Matteo Buffagni is an Italian comic book artist. He's drawn everyone from the Avengers to the X-Men with plenty of heroes in between. Buffagni will be returning to the Avengers Jade Giant when he tackles his Generations issue. Tell us what provided the inspiration for this book. How did you wrap your head around the scope of your project, given that it's interconnected with future Marvel Universe? Well, my editors told me this was a chance to tell a big story with Amadeus Cho and Bruce Banner, and that's all I needed. Those are two of the characters I've loved the most during my writing career. They're both Hulks, and it's perfect time for the two of them to have a huge story. Big whoop, he believes a company-mandated team-up between the two characters is the perfect time to tell their story. We have the potential for a conflict that can possibly be the closest thing to a nuclear reactor meltdown. Considering how fans would expect this, how did you toy with this scenario? What were you thinking when it came to developing the idea of what was right for this story? The biggest action means nothing if it's not invested with the emotion. So the first challenge in making a story like this matter is figuring out what's the emotional hook. What's really going on between these characters, and how are they going to be changed through this monumental conflict? And yes, this story will matter. And then, of course, you give your artist awesome stuff to smash and back up while they go wild. Matteo Buffagni is drawing the book, and you know he's going to tear it to pieces. And in all honesty, there's nothing he said that I have a problem with. It's a lot better than the Hawkeye one where all she was like, oh, it's cool. You know, it's like, cool. This one, at least he understands that you need to like the characters in order to, appreciate the action. Which doesn't tell us why Amadeus Cho is still a character, because he's one unlikable sumbitch. Your job is to show two titans of the Marvel Universe clash shortly after the events of Civil War II, Banner's death. How do you think this reunion is going to go? When Amadeus was struggling with the responsibility of being Hulk last year, we saw him reach out to Banner in Totally Awesome Hulk number 7 and number 8, a couple of my favorite issues of the series thus far. But since then, Amadeus has gone through a lot as the Hulk, and is about to go through a lot more harrowing action in the upcoming Weapons of Mutant Destruction, which tells us this is old. They wrote this a while back because it's ongoing. Crossover with the Weapon X books. So presumably Amadeus may have a lot he'd like to discuss with Banner, who's of course had many more years of experience with the glory and horror of being the Hulk. Meanwhile, the last time we saw Banner, he was dead, wasn't he? So Banner may have his own complications that a friend and super genius like Amadeus might be able to help with. I'll say no more. Read the book. Friends, read the book. We have an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object in this one-shot. How many meetings or emails did you have to decide how best to show this clash of titans? Didn't they just ask the same question 3 times? I'm lucky to live in New York, so I've been in and out of the Marvel offices pretty frequently over the past few months to talk about all things Hulk with editors Mark Panacea and Chris Robinson and Axel Alonso. Hey, I said his name right. It's been great. We bounce around up big ideas, hone in on what works, and talk it all through to make sure the emotional story lines up, makes sense, and pays off. There's a lot of thought and love and gleeful cackling behind the scenes here. We hope it translates to the page and you dig. Now, the preview itself did nothing for me. I mean, literally nothing. The art looked good, that's all I've got to say about it. The interview, however, that kind of made me think, okay, maybe this isn't going to suck so much. However, it's got Amadeus Cho in it, so I can't say that. However, also, this interview made me say Alexis Alonso's name correctly, and that's just like farting in my mouth. I don't appreciate farting in my mouth, thank you very much. So, I'm a little bit on the fence about this one. We'll see. And what did you think of the preview? Did you think, woohoo, this Hulk looks good? Or are you like me and saying that just told us nothing and it was kind of useless? You know, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you like videos like this, just click like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Don't forget to head on over to the Patreon page and drop $1 in the till as well as that. The link's in the description below. And more importantly, thank you very, very much for watching.